have to give these bastards our lives. We give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that. I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
These were possessing weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth.
I remember that with that smoke. We are still here!
We have to say yes to socialism.
No.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the least comfortable show on the web. It's The System is Down, where we talk about all the topics, all the news, all the conspiracies, all the bullshit. We just speak frankly about things that interest us, and sadly for us, and sadly for you, sadly because it speaks to our personality, these are the things that we are interested in. Things like libertarian politics and conspiracies and stuff that, nobody should bother with. I'm joined, as always, by the late, great Dave Casey. Dave, how are you doing, man?
What's up, bro? Great to be here, as always.
Glad to have you, Dave. Anything new in Delaware these days?
Let's see. I think Hunter Biden had his trial right down the street. If you want to call that local news.
It's pretty local, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, nice.
It's a couple doors down from the Biden headquarters, as a matter of fact. You can just do it all, and it's like the block over.
Well,
it's a family affair in Delaware.
We're definitely going to dig more deeply into the local news in Dave's neck of the woods shortly, because Hunter Biden was found guilty of atrocities. All the atrocities, of course, unless it was just made up bullshit. But before we get into that, we have to thank our favorite sponsors. And I got to say, I got to thank my personal favorite sponsor, which is my wife, who has been digging up a bunch of articles and things for me when I am busy doing other things. So everybody give her a shout out in the chats. Kate is,
thank you, Mrs. Smotz.
Is
Appreciate
my
you.
favorite. Now, also a shout out to you guys, all you losers in the Downers Club, people like No Tread, Zach, Jennifer, Kimberly, Strokes, all around, Perry Nord, Adam Choit, Donald Villa, Osmataz, Buckshank, Mike Stonehouse, SDG, Jack Casey, Rick Duran, Craig DeCosta, Tim Brown, Brian McWilliams, Big Something. What was that? Big Something. I missed it. I feel like there's a lot of them that I don't recognize because I haven't said them very much, and then I just kind of gloss over them. They don't trigger my radar. So I'm sorry if you... Oh, Big Frothy Pinecone. Big Frothy Pinecone, especially thank you. And everybody else in the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System is Down. You can support the show and get more of this stuff. More of this nonsense. More weird, more raw, more offensive. More content, sometimes weekly. Not today. We're not doing it today. We're gonna peace out a little early today. Dave's got life, and I've got life, and we've both got lives and women. And I know that a lot of you are libertarians, so you don't know what that feels like to have a woman in your life. But we have lives that we have to get to after this, so it'll be your normal episode and no after party. But you can get the ad-free versions and all the former after parties and all the future after parties at patreon.com/The System is Down. Now, Dave, how you doing, man?
Good, man. I try to be, in a good mood, but I definitely am. Surprisingly, after all this LP stuff that I feel like, knowing me, I would be depressed about it, but I don't know, man.
Or
Surprisingly plucky lately. I don't know.
Good. Any particular reason?
No,
Get laid more than usual?
No, not more than usual. Just, steady. Steady wins the race. No, I listened to Malice. He had Angela on, and we were talking about last week the Elon Musk quote. The most ironic outcome being the most likely. But Malice just was like, I think he said the most hilarious outcome is the best one. And now I'm riding with that. And they both go together.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. It's just fun to be around. And
you're embracing the chaos, Dave. You're finally embracing the chaos.
Yeah.
Instead of being the chaos, you are embracing it. And I mean, it is still a little bit of being the chaos. It's just being the chaos without actually caring or letting it affect you personally. Just, hey, this is fun. This is a fun timeline we're on here. And so be it. That's what got me into libertarianism was, well, not what got me into libertarianism, but what got me into the political involvement. Vermin Supreme, just the chaos of that. And I mean, I've always kind of had this, whatever, spirit, but enjoying the ride. And the more fun the ride, the better. As long as it's fun. I mean, like, I'm not a collapsitarian, really. I'm not looking for the end.
I think I may have taken it too seriously there for a little while.
Yeah.
And I thought that it would affect me more, like in a negative way. But no, it's not the case, bro.
Nice.
That's great shit. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you want to get into some news, Dave?
Heck yeah, dude. Let's do it.
All right. We have to start off with some entertainment news because we've got to set a nice tone for the stage. So here's a clip with no setup. It's just, well, it's Kevin Spacey, and he's back, and he has a different tone than we've seen. In
blurring the lines of reality and fiction.
I'm not sure what to make of this. You tell me, Dave.
Where do you live now? Well, it's funny you asked that question because this week, where I have been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction. Really? So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage. Really? So the answer to that question is I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now, but I've been in Baltimore for since we started shooting House of Cards there. So how long is that? I moved there in 2012.
I'm broke, bitch.
It's been your home for 12 years. Well, not this particular place, but this place has been my home and Evan and Lucy's home since 2016. Why is it being foreclosed? Because I can't pay the bills that I owe.
Yes.
Are you facing bankruptcy?
Do you have something to say, Dave, so far?
Yeah, this is fucking great. I love the Schadenfreude and the karmic justice. This is so awesome. Oh, my kids, and we're in Baltimore, and now the house is being foreclosed upon.
So, yeah. I don't know. It made me a little sad for the guy, but we're different people. There is a part of me, there's a part of me that thinks that there's a chance that Kevin Spacey was innocent. I don't really know. I haven't dug too terribly deeply into it. I just like him as an actor, so I want him to be innocent of the things. But if he's not innocent of the things, depending on what the things exactly were, as far as the cancel culture and all that stuff, if they were actual crimes, if you committed crimes and sexual assault on people, I have no problem with you going into bankruptcy and crying on Piers Morgan. But there's a part of me as somebody who was a fan of him as an actor that I'm buying his acting, and that's why I liked him as an actor, because I buy his acting, if that's what it is, unless, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a pity party, because who else goes on like Piers Morgan and shares that they don't have any money?
I am giddy, bro.
All right, go ahead, Dave.
No, I'm just saying. I didn't even see the beginning part of this. I saw the end of this clip. But no, it definitely struck me as acting, and more in that like line of the Kevin Spacey brand of, wait, is he being serious or is he acting stuff? Right. He's done like lots of this stuff over the past like 5 or 6 years.
He's a phenomenal actor. It's like, and the last video he put out, he was acting like the whatever dude from House of Cards, like being creepy, like I got this, whatever. And now he's this. Is it just because the money dried up and now we're supposed to feel bad for you, even though you seemed very unremorseful?
That's what I'm saying, dude. If he's not part of the murder cult, don't make joke videos about how like he might be part of the murder cult.
Right.
Exactly. I don't. So far, you got to prove to me that you're not, because right now this is great.
Sure.
Been a couple of times when I thought I was going to file, but we've managed to sort of dodge it, at least as of today. How much money do you have? None.
I'm broke, nigga.
Well, I mean, you have some sense of legal bills. Yeah. I still owe a lot of legal bills that I have not been able to pay.
You're actually in debt?
Yes.
Do you mind me asking how much you owe?
It's considerable.
It's an absurd amount of money.
Many millions.
I'm going to have to do so many Comic-Cons.
The house itself is many millions.
What are you going to do?
Get back on the horse. Get back on the horse.
Get back on the horse. Oh, I'm going to do American Beauty Part 2. I didn't want to do it, but I'm going to fucking do it.
I mean, I want to know what he means by get back on the horse even. Like, you're just going to start working again? If you got canceled for your actions and kicked out of Hollywood, what are you getting back on the horse doing? Is it some sort of Daily Wire flick? Would they go that route? Or, I don't know. But
I love it. And I saw a different clip, and it was great.
Oh, yeah?
And that was great. So thank you for sharing that one with me. Fantastic. I didn't know that he was... From the other clip I saw, I didn't know he was broke. That was the better of the two clips.
Flat broke. Yep.
It's great.
Now, speaking of people, here's my transition. Speaking of famous people who were rich and attacked and now are less rich because of allegations and things, we need like a cringe of the day. This is about Trump, and that's the reason for the transition, but Trump did not do this, and this is even cringier than Trump's campaign. But this is Natasha Owens' The Chosen One official music video. Have you seen this, Dave?
No.
This is a jam, and I think it'll bring us back up to a happy tone after the Kevin Spacey drop-off there.
I'm not saying he's something divine. He gets in trouble bigly time after time. He's controversial, but one thing is true. Imperfect people, a perfect God can use.
Bro, we were just talking about this. Oh my God, this is so great. First of all, this shit slaps, and I fucking love the tune. But
this is a straight, like, early 2000s, late 90s, like, modern, contemporary worship song.
Yeah,
worshiping Donald Trump. Yes.
Oh man, beautiful. Keep going, lady.
Just, I mean, yeah, it's lovely. It's quite lovely, and it's really swaying me to vote.
Imperfect messenger
of
being used
society.
by God. That's her takeaway from this song. I love it.
It gets better. We should probably comment here and there because I don't know if they have copyright on this. I'm not sure if YouTube wants to protect the copyright of this, but just know, YouTube overlords, we are not trying to make money off of this piece of shit. We are not responsible for the creation of this piece of shit, and we don't want you to think that we could be in any way whatsoever. We're just here to make fun of shit.
I'm standing with the chosen one.
I am the chosen one.
Ain't no stopping what the Lord's begun. He's only
Even the imagery, like the running stallions and like just peak conservatism.
All of the America.
Mhm.
Yeah, people want it, dude. I want it, so I know they gotta really want it.
Oh yeah.
human like you and me. Just a chosen one.
Somebody had to do it.
This great nation is
Now, I don't know. How does this stack up against like the 9/11 songs of "Bootin' Your Ass" and the other ones? Does this same
one
camp?
makes me. I'm laughing a lot more now. I don't know. Maybe that's because maybe it is the same exact audience, but like the clown pill is like fully in full effect. So maybe that's why I'm enjoying it.
Yep.
And that I was pissed off with Freedom Fries and we'll put a boot in your ass. Like when I was young, that pissed me off. But this is great.
This is beautiful.
attack, and its real leader has arrows in his back. So many greet him with a Judas kiss, but God gave us a warrior for such a time as this.
Ain't no stopping what the Lord's begun. Jesus got Trump elected. Thank you, Jesus.
Yep.
So does that mean that when Biden won, Jesus fucked up? Or how does that work exactly?
He did not come through for you.
Yeah. Every 4 to 8 years, Jesus steps in and says, "It's Republican time, baby. Come, bringing it back."
He's only human like you and me, just a chosen one, the chosen one. Brothers and sisters, lay down your stones. There's only one God and he's still on the throne. I'm standing with the chosen one.
Key change. Let's go.
Yeah, bring it up.
I think we've seen enough of that. What do you think, Dave? Are you more or less inclined to vote for Donald Trump based off of the chosen one?
As if I needed another reason to fucking do it, bro. Please, a slap and banger like this. Bring me this.
Put it in my veins.
Yeah, give me this Shania Twain knockoff, and let's fucking go. Let me wave some flag. I want to wave the American flag, not the rainbow flag, the American flag. Let's fucking go.
Well, I do have an article on that I'm not sure if we'll get to, but I've got one that I think will be good for your clown pill, and I must say I do appreciate clown pill Dave more than party politics Dave, but both are fine. This is
So both could actually do a little bit better, but
either one could step it up, but they're doing okay. This is where this is you. I don't know. Is it utopia or dystopia at this point? Like for clown pill mentality, this is complete utopia, but otherwise this is idiocracy at its most beautiful.
This historic period inspired skilled American artisans to design the official 2024 President Prison Collection. The Trump coin features a victorious Trump sworn in as president on the front and Biden in prison on the back. The President coin features a victorious Biden sworn in as president on the front.
bro, this is so idiocracy.
Yep.
We're like 5 years away from the Biden sucks coin.
Yep. All right, so these are coins, and this is the world that we live in, that whichever president gets elected, there's a high possibility the other one's going to prison in either direction at this point. And they're making a buck off of this, and I find it absolutely hilarious that they're just like, well, this is where we're at. We don't care who you vote for, just know that the other guy's going to jail. And buy our cheap shit coin that has 0.0001% gold in it, but it's commemorative. And I don't know. If I was up in the middle of the night when the telemarketers come on the air and this popped up, I'd be like, let's go. Let's go.
I'll tell you what, dude. I love this. It's funny. The clown pill in me loves it. But the inverse to this is kind of scary and kind of alarming. Like, I feel like to live in a country that literally, like, they're using these archetypes, these two guys, right, who are, pretty much detested by, like they say, half of America would like to see Biden get locked up. And they would probably classify, like Antifa or even like whatever, the radical left. They'd be happy to use the T word to describe those people. And the people on the left would be happy to use the T word or, fascist or Nazi to describe, their political adversaries. So like, what is the logical, line there is that, they will imprison you. Half of America will imprison the other half.
Sure.
So that's
Civil
not good
War
that we're
coins.
like whipping that up. Yeah.
Get your commemorative Civil War II coins. That's what we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they might be worth something someday. So when the economy collapses during Civil War II, we can make it back. This might be the only currency that's accepted, and you have to have the right one for whichever side you're on. Like once you're on this side of the line, the Mason-Dixon 2.0. You can get Biden currency, and you get Trump currency over here. And if you're caught with Trump currency on Biden's side, you know, that's jail time, baby.
I'm in a good position here in Delaware. I can be north or south of the Mason-Dixon line in 15 minutes. So I'll go wherever it's popping.
Well, speaking of things, so we talked about the Dave Smith versus Chris Cuomo debate last week, which was a 3-hour, just beautiful smackdown of a tyrant, or at the very least, the lackey of tyrants. It was magical. And then Dave announced that he was doing another debate. Did you happen to catch Dave's other debate, Dave?
No, this is how I work, dude. I wait till Twitter goes, "Oh my God, that was awesome," or "Yo, that was an absolute waste of time."
Yeah.
And all I saw was that was an absolute waste of time. So appreciate you guys. No, didn't watch it.
It was an absolute waste of time.
Was like, Dave was like, I did not want to be there. I heard him talking about it. He's like, I probably shouldn't have signed up for that. I wasn't feeling it.
It was a mess, and it was an absolute waste of time. And that's why we're going to share some of it with you today. For anybody who missed, this was another 3-hour long one, but it was a much less professional than Patrick Bet-David's podcast debate was. This is between Dave Smith and Andrew Wilson, who I had never heard of before this debate, but I have watched a few things since then. And let me know your thoughts on Andrew Wilson and his defense of, what did they call it? Christian populism versus libertarianism. This is 28 minutes in, just a snippet of no particular relevance, but it gives a pretty good idea of what went on this debate.
If you want the state to go in, if a brother is banging his sister and she can't reproduce, I don't know how you could demonstrate.
Why does reproducing matter in this?
I'll explain
Sure.
why, so that you can't bank on reproduction as being a harm, because it could have like some kid who's all fucked up. So I'm just taking that out of the equation.
Okay. I gotcha.
I'm just taking that out of the equation, right? She has no uterus, they can't reproduce, or maybe they're homosexuals, right? And they're just related. If they own themselves and they're adults, that is exactly what you would make the argument for gay marriage. They're adults. These adults are consenting with each other. Can you actually justify why that's wrong?
Sure.
Then justify why it's wrong.
Well, I can justify why it's wrong. Okay, there's two separate questions here. And this is almost like, I think, what you need to pick apart. So, look, there's two questions. One is, could I justify someone using force to stop them? And then could I justify why it's wrong? You get where those are two different things?
Yeah, I'm just asking why it's wrong.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, so let's do that.
Okay. Do you get why those are two different things, though? You get the point I'm making?
Yeah, sure. So can you answer the question now?
Yeah, dude. Listen, man, do you want to have a decent back and forth here, or do you want to not?
You're still not answering the question.
Okay.
Can you justify why it's actually wrong for two consenting adults?
Yeah. See, the thing is, I am answering the question. You're just kind of being a dick and trying to win the debate.
When are you going to answer the question, Dave?
All right, give him a chance.
So is that actually, does anyone listening to this think this makes for good debate tactics? No, you actually are not recognizing that there's a difference between these two things. So
I just told you I do.
Let's leave him.
All right, do you guys want to do this, man? I fucking honestly, dude. This is
just we've talked way more than I have, Dave. I just want you to answer my question. Can you justify it or not, bro?
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'll go back to saying, do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to do a show here, or what's the point of this?
You want to? I asked you specifically if you wanted a conversation or a debate. You said a debate. We're debating.
No. I didn't say that. I said we could do whatever you want to do, dude.
Yeah. So we're doing a debate. So let's not do a meta conversation. Just answer the question.
A debate doesn't mean you talk over me every time I try to answer.
I just want you to answer the question.
No.
So that gives you a pretty good idea of what we're dealing with. It wasn't all quite that contentious, but it was pretty much that, and it was a whole lot of I called this guy the Sam, what is his name? Sam Harris of Christianity. Dave remuted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, good call on that analogy, though.
Yeah, just like I'm talking in a monotone tone and cutting you off. So therefore, I am intellectual and using larger words than you normies would be apt to use. I don't know. It just felt like such pseudo intellectual bullshit. Even the entire argument. His arguments were, I mean, he was very, very into incest. Not into it, but it kept always coming back around to incest and whether or not a man humping his sister was bad in libertarian views. That's basically what came out of the libertarian versus Christian populism debate. And my takeaway was, well, I find it impressive that in watching this debate, you made me think that Christians are even bigger assholes than libertarians. And as one of both of those things, that's not usually the case in my experience. But if I was just like somebody who wasn't familiar with either of these guys or their arguments or their beliefs, and I walked into this, I'd be like, well, I'm not whatever that guy is because he's a dick the entire time.
Bro, I've never seen this guy. I've heard of him before, and that was worse than I thought that was going to be. But my initial impression after watching 2 minutes of that and that guy and his tactics and what he's all about is that he is not a Christian. He is a taint agent. A taint agent probably fucking with the Christian community, but also now our community, who is completely incurious about libertarianism. He came in with an obvious mission to pollute the well and just yell the same stupid thing. That was like painful to watch. What a dick! What a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's one of the, I mean, like red pill Christian grifters these days who are like, oh, I'm here. I just came out of nowhere and I know everything. And my strategy is to just be as brutal as possible against, like going on the whatever podcast and talking to the dumbest people and then just flattening them. And then that is my personality now. Like just to be a dick about my theology and, speak as brash as I possibly can.
Bro, guys like this, they have to prove to me they're not feds. Right. That's where because this is not a court of law. I saw another, like I follow one of these like Christian conservative influencers on Twitter who, usually has some pretty base takes and he's cool. He put out some good content. But he saw there's been a woman, a black woman who killed her kid or did something awful and she smiled in court or something like that. And his quote tweet to that video, which obviously should make anybody like just disgusted and angry, but like it was like, oh, she should be executed and like her bones brought to dust and all these like completely like sick shit. It's like, bro, aren't you guys like the Christian part? Like that's not what would Jesus do. Shit, you know what I mean? He would not be advocating for that, like revenge for the. Like, bro, that's not it. That's not the signal.
Yeah. I wouldn't imagine so, but I don't speak for Jesus, and that woman is a monster. But yeah. Anybody who's talking that brash, I mean, I even said it the one time about allegedly Jeremy Kauffman on the LPNH thing. Like you sounding like a Fed when you're saying all social. Like, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. His quote was something to the effect of all socialists must be whatever taken. Eliminated or something. There's no bad reason to, unlive a socialist. And I'm like, if you're making an argument that, I don't know, if you're making an argument about like these people will end up killing you someday if you don't kill them, I don't know. That just seems a bit much. And he's known for being a bit much, but it seems like you're asking for attention from the wrong crowd or the feds or what have you. It seems like bait.
Absolutely. I completely agree. We need to really watch out for this. And this is a side effect, I think, from spending too much time online, being too like hyper alerted to your own biases. He lived in Philly and he might have seen some shit. Maybe he was robbed or maybe he saw people get, he detests inner city living. And that's why he fled to New Hampshire and he's living this life. And like, maybe that's it. But I don't know, man. Like once everybody recognizes this, the real world does not feel like the internet. I do not see anybody, there's Democrats everywhere and nobody is like threatening me outside. Right? As soon as you leave the internet, that's not the case. So we got to really be, We got right. I'm not saying you can't put yourself in some hairy situations. That doesn't exist, but it's typically somebody who maybe even identifies as a socialist college kid who wearing the Che Guevara shirt. That guy probably doesn't want to kill you. He just is an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, like most of them. So I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
that's
could he be trained and convinced and brainwashed into wanting to kill you?
Sure.
Certainly. But there's no cause that couldn't be if it was taken in a bad direction. And if the libertarian direction is that, then you are no better. Like if the libertarian direction is murder the people that you disagree with politically, then you're not better than the people who you're saying want to murder you, you know, based on their political ideology.
Trump just came before the group of libertarian delegates and said that Marxism is child abuse. Teaching Marxist theory is child abuse. So that's more radical than anybody in the LP has ever. You know, we're trying to say that chemical castration is, and 40% of the room is like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. We can tolerate that. It's between a doctor and a parent. But I think that's pretty. That's something to say.
We're gonna get to Chase and Cop later. Don't you worry.
Oh my God, let's fucking go.
But for now, we do have to get a brief update on Candace Owens. Candace Owens returned to the internet with her new show called Just Candace, I think. Not Just Candace, but it's just called Candace. And her first episode, she broke down a bit of it seems like she's under, it seems like she's not able to talk about a lot, but what she can talk about, she's going to talk about. And Andrew Klavan seems to have breached some sort of terms that made her able to talk about him, and seemingly only him so far. I haven't watched everything that she's put out so far, but based on this episode, she, it seems like she can talk about Andrew Klavan legally because he defamed her, and she has not said much about the others. But here's what she had to say about former Jew, not that matters, converted to Christian Catholic on the Daily Wire, Andrew Klavan, and her, I think she was like was she the godmother of Andrew Klavan's kid, or was it Michael Knowles' kid? One of the two.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they were that close.
Yeah. Anyway, here's just a bit of what she had to say about Andrew Klavan.
Andrew, he just lied. I know, it was just such a weird thing for me to watch. He was lying with such gumption. And I'm going to show you guys how you really can sort of sniff out these sorts of lies in politics in general. And we're going to start by just cutting to Andrew. He, on his second appearance talking about me, because, he really wanted me gone, but also can't stop talking about me, appeared on a show called Cross Politic. And he was explaining my alleged anti-Semitism. Take a listen.
The Daily Wire parted ways with Candace Owens, and part of it was things that she was saying that we felt were strongly anti-Semitic. And she was doing it in such a way that it was kind of hard to pin down, so I was trying to show where these things happen.
Strongly anti-Semitic, but in a way that was difficult to catch. So what we're veering into here now, obviously, is just like Black Lives Matter, giving you a definition of racism. It's in a way that only people with expert eyes can see it. Otherwise, he would just throw up a clip and be like, wow, look at this crazy thing Candace said, how anti-Semitic. This guy's really a racist. He's just like dropping N-bombs. Like, obviously, this person is extremely racist. But when you get to this sort of like, it was done in a way, you just know that it doesn't exist. That they're just going to have to make it up. They got to Jussie Smollett it. You know what I mean? You just got to make it up. And guess what? Andrew does just that. He jumps into a Hitler hoax. By the way, let me explain to you what I mean when I say a Hitler hoax. We live in 2024, okay? If somebody ever comes to you and says, like, I don't know, I'm a black person, and somebody tied a noose and left it around my neck, that's probably a hoax. It's just people are not tying nooses in 2024, and it just reeks of a hoax. For a Jewish person, Andrew is racially Jewish, if they're trying to sell to you that someone just like jumped up on stage and started being like, yes, I love Hitler, or like, this person was just glorifying Hitler, you're probably being lied to. 99.9% of the time, it's a lie. And they do it because they have built up Adolf Hitler in our school books. They know that we instantly just recoil when we...
All right, this clip is longer than I was anticipating. We have more to get to than I thought. But you got any thoughts on that, Dave? I just thought it was worth a share. Candace is back, and she is assumedly not tied down to anybody or any corporation that might limit her speech. Do you trust her, Dave?
Oh, trust is a really strong word, bro. You know, I fucking love Alex Jones, but I'm not sure that I trust Alex Jones.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for the content that he's putting out, and
We just
feel
put her in the
bad
same
for him.
box as Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson at this point.
Well, anybody could be a limited hangout, and
Right.
I'm suspect of anybody who has power like this. But I'm not that she's on my radar like that. But who knows? But as long as they say stuff that I agree with, I'll share it and give them props. And she is an independent agent, so that is also very cool.
Yeah. I said assumedly an independent agent, because who knows behind the scenes. But she also mentioned that she, during the height of the Kanye West debacle, when he went on Alex Jones and had his Nazi tirade, after that, Candace reached out to him and sat him down for an interview that she knew that she couldn't release it on the Daily Wire and they would never let her. But she just recorded it. She was like, Kanye, we're friends. For the annals of history, let me record this. Maybe it'll come out someday, maybe it won't. And now that she's not under contract with the Daily Wire, she's going to be releasing that entire thing very soon as well. Which, just little nuggets. It's kind of like the Cuomo thing, where it's like, this is odd that we live in a time where this is even possible, that these types of people, not that they even align necessarily, but that different people crossing paths and things coming to light that in the past we wouldn't have had the technology or the ability or the social chaos that brings these things up and makes these conversations be had. But I'm really looking forward to that, and we'll be checking it out. But yeah, I don't know. That I just thought it was interesting.
It is, man. And just like we were saying again last week, it feels like the political and cultural tectonic plates beneath our feet are shifting right now. And at a, the rate
the world is shrinking.
Faster. Yeah, it feels like that. And I want to believe that people that are seeking the truth, trying to find that, will intersect at some point. And that's kind of maybe what we're seeing right now.
Hopefully, unless it's some giant psyop, because, once people start agreeing on things, it makes me nervous.
If people start agreeing that freedom is the way, I will go along with that psyop as long as the limited hangout is available.
The psyop of liberty.
Yep.
Which some might say is the Libertarian Party. But Joey Two Gun says, fake super chat, is Jesus pro grab him by the pussy? I am not entirely sure. I don't know. He did say women submit to your husbands. So
yeah, when you're the Messiah, they let you do it. Just walk right up to them.
That's right. All right. Moving right along to John Fetterman. We haven't heard him sputter out in a while, and he's gotten better. It's improving. And did you hear about his latest, Dave?
I know that he's pro-Zionist shit, but I don't know anything specific. That
well, I was hearing
breaking from the ranks.
Yeah, I was hearing all this stuff about, he's a Republican now, and he said that something to the effect of his near-death experience caused him to abandon liberalism, and so now he's allegedly more conservative. But then when I dug into it, all I could find, for the most part, was, which I didn't dig that deep, so if you got shit that you want to send to prove me wrong, fine. But what
you said, I'm not.
So the left kept, there were a bunch of leftist memes that were the obvious joke is obvious. He had brain damage and now he's a Republican. It kind of writes itself at that point.
Sure.
But the main things that I can find on what makes him more conservative are, as you mentioned, pro-Israel as
progressive. I'm a Democrat. What does that mean? How do you? What is that distinction? Because I'm always. I don't think I've used the word progressive. I think I've said woke. I think there's a big difference between
Actually,
woke.
this isn't the pro-Israel
clip.
clip.
Word triggers a lot of people because it had a great beginning.
I was in a hurry.
But words migrate, and it went to something else. I think there's a big difference between an old school liberal and a woke person. You say progressive Democrat. How do you describe this?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like I've just say, and I've been saying that for years, actually. I said that, I didn't leave the label. It left me on that.
Right.
And that really, after it happened on October 7th, I really knew that that whole progressive stack would be blasted apart, and there's not going to be any kind of way how the Democrats are going to be able to reply to that kind of.
There's not going to be any kind of way how the Democrats are going to be able to reply to that kind of thing. Again, he's getting better. He doesn't need like an interpreter anymore, but he's still at about Joe Biden level, which is not great.
Respond to that kind of, and I really decided early on that I believed that was going to be the right side with Israel throughout all of that, and I knew that would going to be Democrats would continue to peel away and kind of walk away from standing with Israel on that, but that's where I decided after.
How do you explain that, if you can, that the people who consider themselves the most liberal have abandoned Israel, which was always a liberal darling, for the people who, a terrorist organization, the people who outwardly say they want a genocide, who outwardly are the one side of this who's against the two-state solution. Somehow they wound up with them. Why do you think that is? And will this split the Democratic Party?
Well, it does, because there's an appeal there, and I think you talk about that. Like last week, you really hit with the gender apartheid.
Yes.
And talking about a lot of these issues, and some of the most progressive and left parts of the Democratic Party are standing, for the kind of side that have kinds of organizations like Hamas or these kind of nations that there are no rights for women, and they certainly don't embrace the LGBTQ kinds of lifestyle. And even in Philadelphia, the Queers for Palestine blocked the Pride parade in Philadelphia, and I never saw.
So you get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Republican now, they're saying. Straight Republican, because he said liberalism left me and I support Israel. That makes him a Republican.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just like a classic corporatist Joe Biden style Democrat. I mean, Joe Biden is a self-professed Zionist, so you're cool with war and you're cool with corporations, and you just say what it takes to get what you need. He's like, he's right in PA, right?
Right.
Yeah, very close to Joe Biden. It's just the culture, the coast here, I suppose.
Yep. What do you think about his step in his speech game up there? If he was at like a 1 initially, how far up?
Yeah, he's probably at like a 4.
Is he at like a Kamala or up to like a Biden? I'm not sure exactly how the rank scale goes, but
yeah, Kamala says more words, but stupider stuff. So she's probably like a 2.
Yeah.
Really.
Speaking of 2s, here's a word from our Vice President, Madam Kamala Harris. Hold on, let me pull this back.
Today is today. And yesterday was today yesterday.
This is not real.
Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today.
Stop.
So the future today will be as the past today as it is tomorrow. Today is...
Dave, I think you might be right. It doesn't look real.
It's not real, but it's great because it could be.
Hold up. We got to look into these comments here. It doesn't have a watcher's note or anything. It doesn't look
Right.
real. Her mouth
No
doesn't look
community
real.
notes. Yeah.
Everybody's buying it just as much as I am, so I don't feel too dumb, except yeah, somebody find out. Somebody look into this. Tell me if this is real.
Yeah.
Because that mouth looks fake, but even if it's not, the fact that it is very believable, 2 things, is terrifying, because that means that Kamala Harris might say something like this and it wouldn't shock anybody. It's also terrifying because it is fake video in our politics that is convincing even me that it's real. Very convincing and very, very stupid, because the world is, and Kamala Harris is, very, very stupid. I don't
Cheers
know.
to these
I want it
guys
to
who
be
made
real,
this
though.
video.
Yeah.
It's great. The voice was pretty darn good. And yeah, I could be wrong, but I think that's fake.
All right, somebody find out. Let me know. But that is going to take us into our next segment in one of everybody's favorites. It used to be everybody's favorite. Now it might be second favorite to our newest segment, which we'll get to later. But this is word of our beloved President Joseph Robinette Biden. Here we go.
And Corn Pop was a bigger big shot. Nazi fags. You ain't black.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
That's right. It's Remembering Biden, where we remember all of Biden's zany antics because God knows he doesn't remember a damn second of it. This is the clip where Joe Biden gets out of the car and does exactly what you expect for Joe Biden to do as he gets out of a car. Looks terrified and very confused. Very confused. That's all.
Yikes.
That's all.
He doesn't know where he's at.
He does not. And to prove that he does not know where he's at, here's another one. Here is Joe Biden at the... This is another clip from the D-Day ceremony that apparently was overshadowed by the illustrious pooping shot that we got last week. So flashbacks here, and this is again, same as last week. If you've got an explanation, send it my way, dan@tsidpod.com. But to me, what this looks like is... Shh, just play along. It'll be hilarious, was my caption.
Bro, real quick, this
Yeah.
just in, before you go, your wife just chimed in the chats and said it's real, Howard University speech. If that's real, first of all, I apologize for doubting you. But second of all, we are in serious danger. That was...
Yeah, like either way, if it's fake, we're in danger of being duped. If it's real,
Wow.
we're in danger of it being real and that being our leader. Like
Yikes.
our president. That's a very real possibility that is our president. And
yeah, pretty sure
I
they
can't
didn't
believe
solve
she's...
the old 2020 election thievery. So yeah, you could definitely end up with that.
Yep.
Yikes.
All right, we're going to go back and watch it again. Let me
Thank
see.
you.
Yesterday. Tomorrow will be today tomorrow.
No way.
So live today. So the future today will be as the
I don't know.
past today
That looks like a
as
fake
it
mouth.
is tomorrow.
Right.
Looks like a real
Today.
fake mouth.
Go to the Man of Memes page, bro.
Yeah, somebody find me the... I don't know. Like the official posting.
She high.
She high. Either way, it's a good time.
I love it. I
And,
love that we're debating it. Yeah.
I want to make it my ringtone.
Today tomorrow. So live today. So the future today will be as the past today.
Anyway, back to this clip.
Okay.
This is Joe Biden at the D-Day ceremony, and here goes.
Oh boy. We're in danger. This is a Leslie Nielsen comedy, dude.
You see, Macron and Jill and everybody, like, so for the audio listener, Joe Biden turns around and everybody standing next to him just kind of look around like, what are we supposed to be doing? And then they kind of just nod and go with it and turn around with Joe Biden facing the opposite direction. If you've got the explanation, send it my way. If not, let's just watch it one more time and enjoy our demented corpse of a president. And the sycophants who are, corpses on their own right. Mm-hmm. Yep, there it is. I mean,
amazing.
Okay, so they could get... The only thing I can deduce is they might... The explanation could be the bagpipes player was over there, or there was another flag over there, or the veterans were... I mean, the veterans were behind them, but it looks like he's looking kind of away from them. I don't know, but I don't really care if it's in or out of context at this point. Just enjoy the ride.
I like. There's a metaphor here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but like, his wife and Macron and his wife did not. There was nothing they could do except turn with him.
That's what it.
That's
what it seems
you're
like.
in. You're in this boat with him. You in this, liberal world order. You guys are in it together, and you got to face the fucking way that this asshole turns anytime he does.
He is your leader, whether it's true or not. In
and
public,
that guy just lost.
He's leading you.
That guy just lost an election, by the way, to Le Pen. She's been challenging him, so I think he's trying to pull some more EU deep state, chicanery over there. So, just something to look out for.
Shut it down. If it's not me, then shut it down.
That's it.
Yep. Now, a little bit more on Biden, which will transition well into Hunter. Here is Biden at the Moms Demand Action talking about gun control, as he does, and with a very big, threatening tone to gun owners of America.
By the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle.
Oh, somebody get your
Nailed it.
pop-up. This joke always goes over well. I need that 15 if you want to take the government.
Oh, the thing. Or, I mean, what was the Barack Obama one? Fool me once, shame on you. Won't get fooled again.
Man. It's only 11 seconds. Can we run that back one more time?
We can run it back as many times as you want, Dave.
By the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, I guess.
Fucking Boomhauer, elderly Grandpa Boomhauer over here. Let's see. Let's break this down.
By the way, if they want to
if
think
they
to take on government if we get out of line,
to take on government if they get out of line, if they're talking on again about.
Well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle.
One more time.
By the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle.
These damn kids are talking on and then they're about all the dang old
That's actually
guns.
That's actually Delaware County accent. It's pretty accurate. Hey, man, they're talking on me again about that. That's a very local dialect.
So you giving them a
That's
pass?
incredible.
Are you just saying everybody sounds like Joe Biden around there? Is that the case?
Yeah, we got a bunch right down there by the water, over the bridge there, guy at the Wawa.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really, really great.
Mm-hmm.
The clown show is just so entertaining.
It is.
That's a big part of it.
These are our leaders. And we're going to talk about the next generation of leaders, their offspring, in a moment. But before we do, we got to talk to you about Lone Star Injury Attorneys. If you find yourself in a situation like Hunter Biden, where you're definitely needing a lawyer, contact Lone Star Injury Attorney. Have you or a loved one been injured by some fucknuggets, reckless driving, a tumble at your shitty job, or some other form of dumb shit outside of your control? Well, fear not, because today's episode is sponsored by a lawyer. Lone Star Injury Attorneys is an award-winning personal injury law firm that achieves maximum results for its injured clients. Max the Axe is not just a lawyer, but a hardcore Mises Caucus libertarian and also a big supporter of this show and all of our bullshit. Max is the best personal injury lawyer in Texas, but don't judge him by his occupation or location. Max is an avid defender of liberty and justice in whatever state you got fucked in. If you've been injured and your ass needs saving, go with the pros at Lone Star Injury Attorneys. Visit LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com or Google Max the Axe. Consultations are free and you don't pay a single dime unless you win. Once again, go to LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com and get your ass covered. Back. Couldn't find my button. We're back, and Hunter Biden was found guilty. Guilty. After everything. After the laptop, after the,
For money laundering?
Yes, money laundering, after all the stuff with his dad and Ukraine and Burisma, after all of the, the stuff with underage people, seemingly, pretty evident in some pictures, or stuff with his relatives, or even after, he shacked up with his dead brother's widow, I should say. His dead brother's widow. After all that, Joe Biden finally was found guilty for having a gun. Good job. We did it, you guys. We did it.
It's a trap, bro. It's a trap.
It's a total trap. It's a distraction from something, and it always is. Hunter Biden found guilty on all counts of gun case. And the gun case is that he had a gun while not while being high on crack, while having crack and doing crack. There was crack somewhere in his possession, while also somewhere in his possession a gun existed at one point, and that is a felony and deserves to be, gone away forever. Or you could see it as, we'll get him on the least amount of things so that we can distract from everything that Joe Biden is doing with Ukraine and the fact that we've got, I don't know, just a Cuban Missile Crisis going on our border right now. But this seems pertinent. What's your take on this Hunter Biden crackdown, Dave?
Well, yeah, I think that, one, conservatives and libertarians should obviously not celebrate this because there's a bunch of things that he is most likely guilty of, but possessing a firearm, even with crack pipe in the car, we believe in free people. So if you want to smoke crack and own a gun, you have the right to do both of those things. So no, this is not something to celebrate, but I'm worried more that this is somehow being used to further thwart, tyrannical gun legislation in the country, and he'll be like a fall guy for that, but obviously not pay any kind of real price.
Well, the pushback that I've seen from conservatives and some libertarians is that the Fifth Amendment covers, so Hunter had to say on his form for purchasing a gun that he was not on any illicit substances or anything like that, was not addicted to any illicit substances, and he, of course, checked, no, I am not, because he wouldn't have gotten a gun if he had. Now, if he goes down on this and they push against it with the Fifth Amendment, where you don't have to self-incriminate yourself, and that goes to the Supreme Court, and this goes through, Hunter Biden could be like a hero to conservatives and gun-toting Republicans at that point, because that could take away, or that could have big implications on any of the government regulations on guns, even.
Well, just like I am going to probably go buy a MAGA hat soon, I would forgive everything that Hunter Biden ever did if he would go ahead and square that away. We'll be square.
Dave Casey, pro-Trump and pro-Hunter Biden. Thank you, 2024.
Cool.
Thank you, 2024, for the beautiful timeline where libertarians fucked up so bad that Dave's just like, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. You just do the crazy
for
shit.
Me lately?
That's right.
What can you do for me? Can you fucking abolish some bad gun legislation? Cool, bro. Then don't worry about the Burisma shit. It's all good. We're square.
I mean, all of Hunter's ills, I would prefer that he face some sort of punishment for. He's not going to face punishment probably for anything, including this guilty verdict that I think he could get up to like 24 years if it goes through. But it's not going to happen.
There's a difference. But there's a difference.
And if it does happen, he's sacrificed by his father, which is also a very likely possibility.
Like, he's obviously a horrible person, but you know why he is, because his father is one of the most awful people to ever exist. Their family. I mean, look what he did to his brother. Again, his brother's widow. The family has to just hate each other, or like not like imagine. But again, these are like who did he hurt? If he hurt people, like I'm pretty sure he maybe exploited some people. That's pretty unforgivable. But yeah, as far as like money laundering and stuff, if you can get that unconstitutional gun shit out of the way, we'll call it even.
Sure, we'll take it.
We'll take it, bro. We need to art of the deal.
Kind of like with Trump. Yeah, like I'm not getting anything out of you otherwise. So if I can get something out of you, I'll take it over not getting anything out of you. You're not going down for any of your heinous crimes against humanity. But if I can get something out of you, I'll take it. It's fine.
That's right. And meanwhile, fucking Kevin Spacey's squirming over there because he fucking wanted to hang out with the Clinton Foundation. That's you made your bed, motherfucker. You got to go be over there. Yeah.
Now, Thomas Massey's take on this was, Hunter might deserve to be in jail for something, but purchasing a gun is not it. There are millions of marijuana users who own guns in this country, and none of them should be in jail for purchasing or possessing a firearm against current laws. Why? Now, while this is a libertarian-ish take, certainly, why did he specify marijuana? Because that has nothing to do with this case.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
I
because it's
kind of
easy
get
for
like.
conservatives.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, I just mean that's probably why. If you just used it,
Yeah.
you know, people are scared of crack, heroin,
Right.
needles, and fentanyl. I guess, you know, just going with baby steps.
Yeah, and also on the crack versus marijuana take, crack is illegal, and Hunter is going down on having a gun while doing something illegal. So why not just take him down on the thing that is illegal instead of the gun thing?
Maybe I mean, dude, honestly, way more people smoke weed than smoke crack. So every person who owns guns and goes and signs that, who also smokes weed, you know, you'd be think about the legal implications there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's,
What
that'd
are
be
the
a way
legal
bigger
implications
net.
there when it is a federal crime to smoke weed, but it is not in states? If you're purchasing a gun where you have to sign up to a federal registry and you have to say yes or no to a thing, is that illegal? Is it illegal to own a firearm while owning weed also, just the same as Hunter Biden?
Yeah, bro.
Oh. Whoops. Anyway, I lost all my weed and all my guns in a tragic cocaine incident because that's obviously legal with Hunter Biden.
Woo! Yeah, right. On the bigger and better drugs.
Yep. Now, speaking of scumbags who should go down for what they actually did instead of what they'll probably go down for, which is alleged sexual assault or something, it's always the case. From Governor Cuomo to Donald Trump to Hunter Biden to Dr. Fauci. What do you think Dr. Fauci is going to go down on? It's going to be like racism or something, and he's going to disappear from society.
You think he's going down? I think he's going to retire.
Sure.
Comfortable.
But his name can go down still. And, I mean, there are certainly crimes that can be prosecuted as well. Do you think there's any chance that we will get to that extent?
Oh, man, I would love to see it. But, and I've said this, 10 times, but I've never seen a bad guy go down.
Right?
I've never seen a bad guy go down, ever. Unless they, are just one that, was a tool that they had to kind of, sacrifice for whatever reason, but low level shit.
You got to get up to Epstein level shit to Epstein himself to actually go down. Obviously, you can get up to meeting and being and hanging out with Epstein and still not go down because none of them will. But Epstein, once you get to that point where we just can't quite hold on, I'm gonna let you go.
They figured out this way, dude, where and the COVID thing was probably the best example ever, where all the organizations, all the governments, all the governors, all the city councils, everybody is complicit. Yeah, all the health departments across the world.
All the Chase Olivers.
Right. So the word of the decade is liability.
Yeah.
The reason that they didn't let, kids go to school, oftentimes is because white women that run Moms Demand Action, fill up the school boards. But oftentimes it's just because they couldn't afford the liability to do it during this situation.
Yeah.
They got you by the balls. So, I don't know. That's the world we live in. So it's a very real possibility of, seeing that shit again.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on Fauci because we do got to talk some libertarian stuff before Dave has to go. But here's a bit of, speaking of white women, Marjorie Taylor Greene giving Fauci his ass on a silver platter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Fauci, you were quoted on CBS Face the Nation saying it's easy to criticize, but they're really criticizing science because I represent science. Do you represent science, Mr. Fauci?
I am a scientist who uses the scientific method to gain information.
Yes, you said you represent science. Do you represent science, Mr. Fauci? Yes or
Again,
no? Yes or no?
No, that's not a yes or no
Yes,
answer.
it's a yes
I can
or
neither
no.
confirm nor deny the statement that I made.
Well, we'll take that as a you don't know what you represent.
Oh,
But this, as director of the NIH, you did sign off on these so-called scientific experiments. And as a dog lover, I want to tell you this is disgusting. and evil, what you signed off on, and these
Wow.
experiments that happened to beagles paid for by the American taxpayer. And I want you to know Americans don't pay their taxes for animals to be tortured like this.
I do.
So the type of science that
I mean, at
you
least I
are
hope.
representing, Mr. Fauci, is abhorrent, and it needs to stop.
She said, "Mister."
Mr. Fauci, you also
Oh, it'll
represent
come
the
up.
type of science that where you confess that you made up the COVID rules, including
didn't hear what you
6
said.
feet
I
social distancing and masking of children.
I never
You
said
just-
I made anything up.
You admitted that you made it up. You
I
made it
didn't
up
say
as you went.
I made it up.
So are you saying this is fake news, Mr.
I
Fauci?
didn't say I made anything up.
What did you say?
I said that it is not based in science and it just appeared.
But this is science.
What does
As
dogs
I
have to
said,
do with anything that we talk about?
abracadabra, it appeared.
It was in my fortune cookie, so it just appeared there. I didn't make it up, per se. I just typed it on a laptop, and then it was there. I don't know how it works. It appeared.
These are scientific experiments. This is what you signed off on. But you also told the American people they had to distance by 6 feet. They had to wear masks. But let's also talk a little bit further about the type of science that you represent. NIH scientists made $710 million in royalties from drug makers, a fact that's been hidden. Let's talk about the fact about, is it right for scientists and doctors getting paid by the American people, government taxpayer paychecks, to get patents where they're paid millions and hundreds of millions of dollars in royalty fees?
Anyway, we don't have time for Marjorie Taylor Greene and got to talk about more important stuff. But she does keep
bro.
going. Go look up the rest of the clip because she keeps going,
Okay.
and they do get into, they get heavily into, you keep calling him Mr. He is a doctor, and you need to respect that he is a doctor. And she flat out denies it. She refuses to use his identified pronouns and keeps calling him Mr., which, yeah, good on her. Good on her.
More
When
than
you're right,
that,
you're right.
bro, more than good on her. I am officially a fan. I'm a supporter, and she's down to abolish or at least audit the Fed. She's always backing up Massey when he does that, and she just handed that guy his ass. That's all you need to do to impress me and me be on your team.
Yeah.
Literally, that is enough. I'm a supporter. I'm a fan.
Be honest about like 2 things. And I'm like, all right, let's talk. Let's go.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
be
but
honest
that
about
was,
one
like-
thing and we can talk. Be honest about 2, and I'm a fan.
Absolutely, dude. And you know what? Rand Paul, heroic and just doing great work, but she just like abused that guy who deserves to be abused. And there's something but like, again, anybody can be a limited hangout or whatever. But that was fucking, she came with the fury, and I respect the shit out of that. So
Absolutely.
a couple weeks ago when she was fighting with like AOC and that other chick who was, just talking shit, everybody was like, oh yeah, all these bitches are clucking. But you know what? All these bitches aren't clucking the same shit. So I'm a fan, officially.
Absolutely. I agree. Now I have a stinger for this next part that I can't seem to find, so let me find it here. We have to get into some of the most important news, which is the libertarian news, which is just as ridiculous as it sounds. We gotta catch up on our good friends Chase and Cup.
Chase, 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 chase. C-H-A-S-E, Chase.
Nah.
Chase.
There we are. Hey, it's Chase and Cup, everybody's favorite, new favorite segment, where we catch up on the libertarian presidential and vice presidential candidates for this go-around, Chase Oliver and Mike Tremont. Dave, have you seen anything in the works? Anything catch your eye? I'll give you the floor first on any Chase and Cup news.
Bro, Mike Tremont is steady putting out the weirdest, cringiest. I'm just so grateful for it all, because like, here's the takeaway. This is it. It's so funny. Who runs in a polo except a cop?
Let's watch. It's only 30 seconds.
What you do with your body should be none of the government's business.
Again, my services are still on the table. If you need something better than a 1995 camcorder and a crappy microphone.
No, look elsewhere, Mike.
Your body is your body. Your property is your property. Your life is your life. Vote Libertarian. My friend Chase Oliver is standing for president, and I'm out here running.
Now, once we get to the my friend Chase Oliver part, just find an image of him, any image will do, and just cut it in there as like a yearbook photo, and then cut back to me running in a polo.
For vice president on the Libertarian Party ticket, because we believe that your decisions should be your own. Go for a run if you want. Or not.
Woo! Oh my God. You're free to run or don't.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And like the whole time you're wondering, why is he running? What is going on here? And then the punchline is, you're so free, you can go for a jog or you can stay home. Hard-hitting, cutting-edge stuff there, you guys.
Amazing. I'm just so grateful for it.
Yeah.
That was hilarious how you got you're all videoed up, running down the street, and then you get the fucking portrait version of the presidential candidate from Life Touch. You know,
go from the ad for your running for libertarian spot and compare that to your ad for running for president of the United States of America. And, you know, you can choose. It's fine. It's fine. But the Libertarian Party of Colorado can also choose, apparently, and they have chosen NOTA, it would seem, because Libertarian Party of Colorado says they will not be nominating Chase Oliver and Mike Tremont as its candidates for president and vice president. This is from their Twitter account. LPCO has always stood firmly for liberty, principled opposition to overreaching government, and the promotion of individual freedoms. Our commitment to these values guides our decision and actions. And rather than just reading through the whole thing, I caught the interview that they did on Austin Peterson's show this morning. I think it was the chair of the party and one other person. And their reasoning was he does not uphold our values. And it's not just the trans and kids things, even though that's an issue that they had, but it's more so just everything that the regime pushes, these people have fallen for, so why are we trusting them now? It doesn't matter whether or not they were saying government should mandate vaccines or companies should mandate vaccines. Everything that the regime is pushing, all of their propaganda, these two individuals, these are the, not verbatim, but abridged words of the Libertarian Party of Colorado, everything that the regime pushes, these people have been duped by, so why should we back them in this? Now, there's obviously some issues with this because nobody knows how this works, or that if this works, or if this has ever been done before. They contacted the Secretary of State, and they didn't really have a clear answer whether or not this would be have legal ramifications or not, or what they were up against. But they said, legal ramifications be damned. We're going to do what we feel is right. What do you think about this, Dave? The Libertarian Party is eating itself alive.
Again, this is part of the clown show, so I'm definitely enjoying it. Hannah was just on my show a week ago, and we talked about this too.
Oh, I didn't know
Not
that.
about, no, we didn't talk about, we talked about Chase, but no, she did this afterwards. But I'm sure she was planning on it. And she's a badass. And at the end of the day, she has a duty to represent the Libertarian Party of Colorado. That's my opinion. Legally, I don't know if there's any duty that she has, but I'll leave that up to people that, are into that kind of shit. But if I was a state chair, I would make sure that my people were heard, and I would do what they wanted to do, probably. In fact, dude, we're going through kind of some shit in Delaware. So we have the luxury here of literally, I know everybody who is a voting member at the last convention. So, I know where they would necessarily, kind of lean. And there's not a whole lot of Chase support here.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to pull a Colorado, I could try and whip something like that. But I bet you that people, even that weren't on board with Chase and Cop, I bet you they wouldn't have the stomach to buck the system like that.
Yeah.
I would, because fuck them.
Yeah.
Seriously. For the same reasons Colorado said fuck them, you completely shit the bed at the most important time, and you're embarrassing. And I hope the Libertarian Party gets the lowest vote totals of all the vote totals that have been low for them. You know what I mean? That's what I hope happens. Not trying to wish any schadenfreude on those guys, but like they brought that upon themselves. Mike Tremont, you brought this upon yourself. You wanted it so fucking bad that you settled for Chase Oliver. So enjoy it, dude. Enjoy making videos like this for 5 months. We will have fun teasing you guys. And
there's more on Cop in a second, but I did want to tell a brief story about my weekend last week. I was at a show at a local bar and had a conversation with a random black lady that I don't know, and she was nice, no issues. She eventually said something about politics, and she was like, I don't think I'm a Republican anymore. I was like, I didn't know that you were a Republican before and wouldn't have assumed. But she said, I don't know if I think I'm a liberal now. I just want freedom. I think people should have freedom. They should just be left alone. And I live in Illinois, and it's a blue state. And so I'm like, Angela McArdle is dead on, because I talked to that lady and told her that she should vote for Chase Oliver and look into the libertarian stuff, because she's just like gay marriage and leave people alone and this and that. And it's like, all right, go take some votes away from Biden. I'm not doing it because I want Trump to win necessarily. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to vote for Trump, but she is not going to vote for Joe Biden, I don't think, at this point either. Or at least, if her drunk ass remembers any of that conversation, she might Google it and look up Chase Oliver and be like, yay, gay, and whatever. So there might be, value in the identity politics that Chase brings to somebody like that, who's like, I just can't do Republican, so I'm obviously a leftist. And it's like, yeah, hold on. Just let's get a little bit of value out of this. And yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Dave?
No, I like that. I don't love the idea of the Libertarian Party getting flooded by people that are really excited about Chase Oliver. But again, if that happened, it would just be hilarious.
In fairness, she didn't seem like somebody who was going to go join the party tomorrow, but maybe she'll not vote for Joe Biden.
No, we should do that. And no, listen, to Angela's credit and to this lady's credit, only garbage people will go vote for Joe Biden. I can understand voting for Jill Stein and Cornel West and even Chase Oliver. I can understand that. Cool. If
over Joe Biden, yes.
Right. If you're into the things that, the left says, and you're also anti-war, like that guy will he'll check some boxes for you.
Yeah.
The Constitution Party. Cool. I get it. I'm down with that. I can understand everybody's plight, but not voting for Joe Biden. That's just unexcusable.
Yep.
Trash.
We're basically Biden derangement syndrome right wingers at this point. Just like anybody but Joe Biden, quite literally. The only 2% of me that's like, yes, Joe Biden, which it's in there. It's very small, real sliver, but it's there for the sake of just seeing how far they can prop this guy up and make it quasi believable. But we do have to briefly, because I know you got to get going soon, Dave. We got to talk about this. Mike Tremont was on Austin Peterson's show, and I disagree with Austin Peterson often and let him know sometimes. But he's been doing the Lord's work lately by bringing on some of these candidates and giving them a little bit of a grilling. And here's a bit of what happened. Did you catch this, Dave, at all?
Listen, yeah, not only did I catch it, but this is further evidence that the tectonic plates are shifting, because like you just alluded to, bro. Yes, 6 months ago, if you told me that whoever the libertarian candidate is would be embarrassing and Austin Peterson would make them look, silly by comparison. I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Hold them to task? Like make them answer pretty easy questions that they can't?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely. It's embarrassing.
Yep. Good on him. And this is a mashup of some of the best moments that I did, and it gives you just an abridged of what happened here.
I'd like to know, honestly, your opinion on whether you think it is the proper role of government to prevent parents even from drugging their children and sterilizing them before they reach the age of reason.
We're actually going to play this on fast mode so we can get Dave out of here on time. It's about 7 minutes long. I'll do 1.5 speed.
His position, and therefore our team's position, to start out with what's most important, is that the government needs to lay off of this area that has not been settled in terms of science, has not been settled in any number of contexts.
How could you do that to children, Mike? These are children. They have no option to say yes or no.
I'm not arguing with you, Austin. I'll just explain. How about you let me explain our position first, and then you can argue with me.
You tell me your take, Mike.
I will. And I promise you I will, and I will. Chase's position and our team's position is that you...
Straight back to Chase's position and our team's position.
That it's okay for the government to step in and make sure that you wait until you're 18 for surgical procedures.
Now, in fairness, in the actual interview, he says, give me a minute to explain Chase's position, then I will get to mine. So not to trick you into thinking that that was that blatant that he went straight back into it, but he did go straight back into it. And Austin is asking a very direct question, but he's got to start with, hey, this is what I'm told to say. This is, and he even says, this is Chase's position and our team's position, therefore the most important position, or something to that effect. Like, my opinion doesn't matter as a human. This is about the team and the message of whatever the team says, whatever they're saying, I'm doing it. And had Rechtenwald won, whatever he said, I would have been going along with that too. So...
that are irreversible. And Chase's position is that with regard to chemicals, this is a rapidly evolving area technologically, and therefore it's a gray area. Regarding my personal feeling about the use of these chemicals is completely irrelevant, because as a libertarian, I believe that...
Hold on, I'll slow this down. There's some body language here where Mike has this thing where he's like very smiley and naughty, and he moves his eyes around and is shifty, but he also kind of mirrors people's, like when somebody questions him, it throws him off, it seems.
It's so, I hate this kind of personality who would say something like, you're talking about something so serious and let me explain my running mate's position, and my position is irrelevant. It's like, no, dude, what is irrelevant is this old model that you're trying to hold up where you like have to like toe the line for like something so disgusting. Like you'd be a part of it.
What he's trying to say is it's irrelevant what any individual's position is on any other individual's life, because we are libertarians. He didn't quite make that point very well. He just said, my opinion is irrelevant. I don't fucking matter in this. And watch, like right after he says it, when he's trying to explain the libertarian thing, I don't know, something about the body language here I thought was interesting, because like Austin Peterson makes a grimace and then kind of turns his head, and then Mike Tremont makes a grimace and also turns his head and hesitates because he's like, wait, you disagree with that thing I just said? Hold on, it's libertarian.
Relevant, because as a libertarian, I believe that my opinion about what
something about that, like, what is it? Oh, he's not liking this. It's not working. Okay, libertarian.
Doing with your life and with your children is irrelevant. Now, you've also asked me about public policy. I personally believe that we know enough about these chemicals to require children to wait until an age of consent.
You have said that it is irrelevant what your opinion is. I believe that you as a leader make it relevant, because you are a person who is representing the values and beliefs of many people who self-identify as libertarians. So what I would like to know, Mike, is do you find it to be immoral personally to offer sterilization drugs to people who have not reached the age of attainment?
My feeling is that we should be preventing, as a society, children from using these chemicals until they're able to reach an age of consent.
So far we've got the most important opinion is the presidential candidate's position, Chase Oliver's position, and therefore the team's position. That is the most important. My opinion is irrelevant. Also, if you're going to push me on it, I don't agree. I don't agree with Chase's position. So I'm just saying whatever they tell me to say, and that's my position, because thank you for making me vice president candidate of libertarian politics. Like, that's our brave and bold new messaging that we're going with. Any thoughts, Dave, so far?
Yeah, and still nobody has told him that you should not lean your face into the camera without a mic in the room and just yell at the people.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Look around like a cat clock too while you're doing it. That fills me with confidence. There's no uncanny valley there at all.
So
Get a
you
mic.
do believe it is the proper and necessary role of government to prevent parents from physically, surgically castrating their children. But the question of drugs that would castrate children, that should be left entirely between the parent, the doctor, and the child.
That is Chase's position and our team's position. My own personal feeling is that there's not a great deal of difference between some of these drugs and surgical procedures because
It's Chase's position, the team's position, but not my position as the second most important member of that team.
Right. It's Chase's position. It's the team's position. It's Satan's position. And since I'm on the team, that's my position too. My actual position is irrelevant, but I would oppose this because it's ultimate evil. But I'm a company man, so
Were I allowed to oppose this, I would absolutely oppose it if you paid me money to say that I oppose it.
irreversible.
People that you know very well that are these lefty woke parents that are just trying to fit into their mom's soccer club so that they can all compete in the Victim Olympics and have a trans child because they're all such desperate attention whores.
I am very much concerned about the social contagion. I am very much concerned about decisions being made by people who don't have the full panoply of information. I do not estimate that families are making these decisions lightly, and I certainly don't want to denigrate the decisions made by others.
Would you take your own kids to a drag queen story hour, drop them off, and then come back an hour later?
I don't like exposing children to things that I consider to be, sexualized.
You can recognize that the people who are critical
You good for a
of
couple more
Chase
minutes, Dave?
Oliver and his positions are not critical
You can go
of
if you
Chase
need to.
and Oliver.
What's that?
2 more minutes.
Okay.
And his positions and your tickets positions on these things.
If we are going to use government, Chase's position is not that you should be dropping off your children in any particular area for, of education or entertainment.
Would you drop your kids off at a drag queen story hour and come back an hour later?
Would you drop your kids off at a movie? Yeah.
I've been to dozens and dozens
Okay,
of drag
so
shows
the
in my
team's
life.
policy is, in fact, to drop your kids off in drag queen story hour.
The team's
My
policy and the
position is
Chase Oliver's position, obviously that's the most important. Drop your kids off wherever drag queens are, and my position is irrelevant because I'm just here to smile and nod. Smile and nod, y'all. I'm a cop. I'm a former, agent of the government who is your vice presidential candidate who does not speak for himself. But if I'm allowed to, if I may, I disagree. Now back to script. And it even ends, I want to play the ending before you go because it ends on a discussion about virtue, and I feel like it negates everything that he started out saying in the beginning.
School and, avoid
He's talking
exposure
about
to weird.
if I had my choice, if somebody asked me my personal recommendations on transing and this type, like the drag queen story hours and stuff, I would tell them to put their kids in a private Christian school. That is his personal position, but his public position is completely the opposite because that is the most important because that is Chase Oliver and the team's position.
Dan, actually, you want me to explain how that actually works, bro? Listen,
Yeah.
Let me be clear. God works through mysterious ways with imperfect people as messengers.
Very imperfect.
Like this guy. That's how
Very
it works.
imperfect.
He's our
Crap.
he's our-
I don't have a problem telling my friends that. But as a matter of public policy, I just don't believe that that's an appropriate conversation.
If the culture buys into cultural Marxism, and if people are behind, I'm talking about the culture here, Mike. I'm talking about being.
Yes, I think that you should discourage bad behavior in our government.
Right.
I think that you should discourage this bad behavior. I just said that's bad behavior, but I agree with that bad behavior because that's the team's position, it's Chase Oliver's position. You should discourage bad behavior if you disagree with something. I disagree with something, and also my opinion does matter because. But it's such a clusterfuck of backpedaling to be like, this guy doesn't like my be libertarian on everything position, and yeah, it was fun to watch.
Imagine having these. Imagine having these positions. Oh yeah, I'd send my kids to Christian school and blah 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 blah, but putting it all on hold because of a political campaign or something like that. It's just this is
not
incredible.
even a paycheck. Not even a straight up paycheck, just a position of authority in a party that is the fourth largest party. and the independent vote will go higher than ours.
We should not be shocked that this guy does not want to talk about cultural issues and wants to specifically talk about policy, though. That's what he's saying the whole fucking time.
I'm a sellout. I'm a sellout. I'm a sellout. I'll say what you want.
Discourage we should be moral leaders, right? Virtue, right? We should encourage virtue. Society breaks down without virtuous men and women behaving virtuously, which means that we have to have morality, or else we're going to lose our liberty.
And I have never said anything other than that.
Chase. Chase. Chase, 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 chase. Chase.
Chase.
That's right. Thank you, libertarian leaders of our generation and our beautiful clown world timeline. Dave, any final thoughts on that? Any final thoughts on anything? I know you got to go, so I'll rant at Steve after you go. But yeah, let people know where they can find you and give anything you want to say before you go, man.
You let that guy have it. Bro, as always, I love this show. I love doing it with you. I love,
It's okay.
giving our, no, dude, it's better than okay. You know that. You're a modest guy, though. And I'm so grateful for the timeline. And yeah, I think we're celebrating 3 years of doing podcasts together around this time, dude.
Really?
That's the one valuable thing that Facebook provides is the old time hop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we started doing conspiratarian.
Feels like 8
stuff.
years. God.
I know. My bush has gotten totally gray in the meantime, fighting these demons with you. But
You
I
had
know
hair
I just
when we
wanted to
first started,
express-
I'm pretty sure.
I know. Totally, balding it up. But I'm totally grateful for it. I'm grateful for the timeline. And yeah, dude, I'm excited for the future. And let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy our lives. And poke
Newly
fun at
clown
these
pilled
guys.
Dave. Where you stand on
Yeah.
Joe Exotic these days?
Pro. If I was against, I was. Now
If he
I'm
was on
totally
the
pro.
ticket up against Trump, Biden, RFK, Chase Oliver, and Joe Exotic, who you voting for?
Oh, I'm definitely voting for Trump. Fuck all you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, Trump's arrested.
I don't know if that's true. But I'm definitely not voting for Chase. I'm, arguing against it, but I am trying also to funnel, gay cops to that neck of the woods. So yeah,
Sure.
that's your guy.
Get all the village people, send them that way. And they don't have to come into the party, per se. If they want to vote that way, that's fine. They can vote and then Gary Johnson their way on out of the party, as all
That's
of his
it.
supporters did. And
Just use and exploit the Libertarian Party like
Use
a
'em and lose 'em.
glorious glory hole. Yep.
Amen.
And then bounce. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, man. Go get your woman and have a good one. See you.
Peace.
All right. Now, I'm still here, and I have a few final words before we kick out for the week. Maybe we'll start doing more. Should we start doing more? Do you want more? Let me know if you want more. This is a lot of work. But if we can cut back on the time of the main one, maybe we can shift it into 2. Maybe we can get a little bit more in if we have to. I don't know. If you guys want it, let me know. Dan at tsidpod.com. And let me know. Vote with your dollars at patreon.com/the system is down. And send me emails, complaints, whatever you got. Dan at tsidpod.com. I think my P.O. Box is still open, too. If you want to send me hate mail or anthrax or anything, P.O. Box 84, Alito, Illinois, 61231. You can try that if you want to. Feel free. It is what it is. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being on this timeline with me. Thank you to my lovely director who had to bounce and pick up my kids. And thank you to my lovely co-host who had to bounce and pick up his woman. Thank you in the chats for hanging out and being awesome. Sorry that we did not have more time to get to more of your chats. But we do have to end on one very most important thing, which is our therapy, our bringing it down, our bringing it back down to reality, calmly going through, in through the nose, allergies, out through the mouth. Let's talk to Steve.
Hey, I'm checking in. Tell me, what's going on?
Well, Steve, Kevin Spacey, alleged pedophile, but it's okay because he's gay, is coming back because he's going to make a comeback because he's broke now. So we're supposed to feel bad for him. I'm not sure if I do feel bad for him, but I kind of do because I like him. The chosen one, Donald Trump, is being arrested or becoming president. I'm not sure which, but his running opponent, Joe Biden, is either becoming president or being arrested as well. So I don't know where I stand. Then we've got Joe Exotic, who is arrested and should be president more than either of the two of them. We've got Andrew Wilson versus Dave Smith. That was very pretentious and insufferable. We got Candace Owens, who brought back her show, and who cares? John Fetterman is a Republican, which means not great. We've got, what else here? We've got Hunter Biden was found guilty on all counts, but all the counts were complete and utter bullshit. Shut up. Hold on, Steve. Start over.
Tell me.
We got Hunter Biden, who's accused on all counts, but all the counts are bullshit. We've got Thomas Massey, who's backing up Hunter Biden now. And you got me and Dave. Dave supporting Hunter Biden. I don't know what our timeline is, but I'm here for it. C-SPAN. Sorry, I'm just reading headlines now. Oh, Fauci is an abomination to God, and I would like him to suffer a little bit. The Libertarian Party of Colorado does not support the Libertarian Party's presidential nomination, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I mostly love it. Austin Peterson dragged Mike Tremont, and by dragged, I mean he asked him very simple, honest, answerable questions if you're a real human and not a reptilian. But the shifty eyes make me think that he might be a reptilian, but he's a really nice guy, Steve. He's a really nice guy like you, and I don't want to like cloud my judgment by coppery or shifty reptilian eyes. I just want to know your opinion. Your opinion. Sorry, Steve.
You look great, by the way.
You look great too, Steve. And you all look great in the chats and comment sections and stuff in the future. Do all the great things that you do. Share the show. Clip the show. Share the show. Share the clips. You can clip the show, share it with your friends, and you can take all the ad revenue from the clips that you use. I don't give a shit. I don't make ad revenue on any of this anyway. Patreon.com/The System Is Down is the way to support if you want to. If you don't, thank you for being here anyway, and we will talk to you guys next time. Until then, question everything, stay uncomfortable, be bad, have fun. We'll talk to you then. Peace. That is not the right outro at all. I'm not sure what happened. It's not even the right image. It's last week's image. There's no after party, you guys. It's over. Just enjoy the sultry tones. Enjoy the sultry tones of Andrew Tate and his brother standing half naked in the rain and celebrating Pride Month together. Goodbye.